Module Overview. The invention of cinema was not the result of a single discovery, but rather a culmination of centuries of scientific advancement, artistic experimentation, and industrial innovation. Module 1 explores the technological, cultural, and artistic roots of cinema, with a particular focus on the pre-cinematic devices, the emergence of motion picture technologies, and the development of silent film culture from the 1890s to the late 1920s. This module serves as the historical bedrock upon which all subsequent developments in cinema rest. It introduces you to the pioneering inventors, entrepreneurs, and artists who shaped the birth of the medium, including the Lumière Brothers, George Méliès, Thomas Edison, D.W. Griffith, and Alice Guy-Blaché. Furthermore, it analyzes how early cinema reflected the social, political, and industrial realities of its time, while simultaneously forging a new cultural language of visual storytelling. This module includes a rigorous examination of the global spread of silent cinema, the institutionalization of the film industry, and the establishment of cinematic grammar, such as continuity editing, close-ups, and cross-cutting. It also investigates the aesthetic and ideological implications of silent era masterpieces, and how cinema was quickly adopted as both a mass entertainment medium and a powerful cultural force. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you should be able to describe the technological and scientific advancements that led to the invention of cinema, identify major inventors, films, and cultural moments in the silent film era, explain the visual language and storytelling techniques developed during the silent era, analyze the industrial growth of the film industry and its global expansion, reflect critically on the societal impact of early cinema, including themes of modernity, race, gender, and class. Key topics covered: 1. Pre-cinematic visual culture: camera obscura, magic lanterns, zoetropes, phenakistoscope, persistence of vision, and the illusion of movement, optical toys as entertainment and science tools, contributions of Edward Muybridge and Etienne Jules Marais in motion studies. 2. Technological birth of cinema, 1880s to 1895, invention of celluloid film and projection systems, Thomas Edison and the kinetoscope, the Lumière Brothers and the first public screening, 1895, Georges Méliès and the origins of narrative and special effects. 3. Early narrative cinema, 1895 to 1910, shift from actualities to storytelling films, Edwin S. Porter's The Great Train Robbery, 1903, and the invention of editing, Alice Guy-Blaché, and the emergence of women in early film national developments, Britain's Mitchell and Kenyon, Japan's Benshi Culture 4, the rise of the film industry and studio system, Nickelodeons and the economics of early exhibition standardization of production practices and genres, early censorship, moral panics, and legal battles, e.g. Edison's patent wars. 5. Aesthetics of silent cinema, mise-en-scène, composition, and lighting in the absence of sound, intertitles, musical accompaniment, and theatrical acting, evolution of film grammar, continuity editing, montage, close-ups, psychological and symbolic storytelling in films by Griffith and Sjöström. 6. International silent cinema, German Expressionism, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, 1920, Soviet montage and Kuleshov experiments, Eisenstein's Battleship Potemkin, French Impressionist and Surrealist films, early African and Asian film traditions, e.g. Egypt's Layla, Japan's Orochi. 7. Cultural and social dimensions, representation of gender, race, and class in early cinema, birth of cinematic genres, horror, slapstick, melodrama, westerns, the star system, Charlie Chaplin, Mary Pickford, Theda Bara, global migration of talent, and the international exchange of aesthetics. Notable silent films for study workers, Leaving the Lumière Factory, 1895, Lumière Brothers, A Trip to the Moon, 1902, Georges Méliès. The Birth of a Nation, 1915, D.W. Griffith, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, 1920, Robert Weenie, Battleship Potemkin, 1925, Sergei Eisenstein, The General, 1926, Buster Keaton, Metropolis, 1927, Fritz Lang, Pandora's Box, 1929, G.W. Pabst, Critical Discussion. Questions. How did the technological innovations of the 19th century directly lead to the creation of cinema? In what ways did silent cinema reflect the political and industrial shifts of early modern societies? How did the lack of synchronized sound influence the development of visual storytelling? What role did women and non-Western filmmakers play in shaping early cinema? Can early cinema be considered a global art form from its inception? Why or why not?